Exhaustion ground down on us. I hadn't slept more than a few hours in the past 2 days, and despite my gnawing anxiety, I could barely keep my eyes open as the steady movement of the horse rocked me. Every bone and muscle in me ached, my injured eye and belly most of all. I kept pulling the hood of my cloak forward, hoping no one would notice my eye. At one point, a vision rocked me, my bee watching as a healer dressed wounds. Which bee was this? The one I'd left with Juste? But Juste had no wounds to dress, and that skin was too dark. It took me a moment to realize it must be Osprey. That these were the stab wounds he'd inflicted on himself in his insanely noble effort to save me from harm. There were so many of them, some deeper than others, and I flinched as salve was applied and torn skin stitched. I should be grateful, for surely this would slow him down. Even if he was getting help in a town along the way, it would still delay him for long enough to bind these wounds. But I was not grateful for that. With every stitch applied, I felt a mirrored pain. He'd done all of that to try to keep me safe. When the vision vanished, I found my eyes stinging and wet. I dried them hastily, hoping the others wouldn't see. We reached another town after an hour of traveling out of the fishing village, and another an hour after that. I swallowed at the sight of so many people, dozens on the road and hundreds in some of the towns we passed. Some of them peered curiously toward us, and I quickly looked away, keeping my hood pulled low and my face in shadows. When I accidentally met Zayana's eye, her look of scorn made my face burn hot. So what if I wasn't used to all the people yet? So what if they made me nervous? What special use did so many people have that it was a good thing to be among them? An army, I decided. They would be good for an army. After that realization, I watched with different eyes. Instead of looking at the sheer numbers and strange houses represented, I saw men eyeing the forest just as nervously as I did, feeling at an empty spot on their belts and then clenching their jaws. Instead of women with new hairstyles, I saw how their shoes were worn, the toes almost broken through, and no money to replace them. Instead of watching the sheer number of livestock we passed, I noticed how they seemed thin, their eyes spooked as they rolled past. But I also watched for any hint of betrayal, of any hint that someone was hurrying off too quickly or tying a message to a pigeon's leg. We were prey, and I must never forget that. Hunted, chased, harried. Our only hope now was that we could hide among the harmless people of these towns and escape notice. When the first Claw Division came thundering down the road, mounted on caribous, I almost missed seeing the looks on the faces of townspeople. I was so busy trying to look normal, trying to still my racing heart and calm my frantic puffs of breath, that I almost missed their resentment. Some of it was close to rage as it flickered across every face. Their shoulders were hunched and eyes turned down, but not out of submission. I saw their knuckles clench white on anything they were holding, their mouths tight with anger. I didn't dare let my bees loose, but I could feel them within me, furious and buzzing with the anger of the people and the fear in me. They almost seemed to resonate with what was around us instead of just what was inside of me. We all felt the yoke of the winged empire settling heavily on our backs. Maybe Ivo was right. Maybe the people were ready to give their very blood to lift that yoke.